Hello, my name is Elena,
I'm Peter.
and we are Retired Everywhere. Today, we are going to talk and share with you how we are traveling in Asia and showing you our budget of this month.
Yeah, our actual spending. We're going to detail it out at the end of the video.
Yes, we've been traveling around Asia and we start in Vietnam because the cost of living in here, we're trying to save some money because we have a plan to go to Japan.
Yes.
So in order to go to Japan, because Japan is a little bit more expensive and we are traveling in a budget, we decide to stay a couple of months, maybe 2 or 3 months in here
Yep.
in Vietnam, and then we can spend less money to really enjoy our trip to Japan.
Yeah, we have to mix in our low-cost areas with our high-cost areas as we travel around because we are not budget travelers in the sense that we're staying in hostels or inexpensive hotels or apartments anymore. We are staying in as nice of a hotel as fits in our budget. And thankfully here, that's saying something. If you've seen our other videos, we've talked about how we got our status, earned our loyalty, earned our lounge access, and therefore we are trying to stay in IHG Hotels, so the Holiday Inn brands, in these nicer hotels that have lounges so we can get a lot of free food, which is really where a lot of the budget savings comes in.
So, lucky us or lucky me, he's an expert on points. I've been learning very slowly how he managed that, and that's been giving us the opportunity not just to save in food, but also in the hotels we're staying.
Yeah, and I've got a few videos that have come out where I detail out exactly how many points we're using. So go ahead and take a look at those if you're like me, a bit of a points geek and want to see how this is done in detail. Otherwise, in summary, we're using points, buying points with IHG to keep our costs down and allow us some flexibility because using points for award stays gets you free cancellation. So last month, we were also in Vietnam. We were up north, and we actually spent most of last month and, January and February in Da Nang, Vietnam, which is a beautiful town, really nice area. January, February may not be the best time to be there, at least this year. Weather was not the best.
No, unfortunately, it was raining way too much. Too many days are very, very cloudy. And, we thought, the information we found online, it was the wet season was leaving in the beginning of January, right?
Yeah.
Or middle.
By the end of January, it's supposed to be gone. February has been a little bit of a rough month for us. We kind of got that point. So we actually headed south a little early. Instead of heading north into Hanoi and northern Vietnam, we actually ended up grabbing an 8-day stay down here in southern Vietnam in the beach community, the resort area of Nha Trang. And just coincidentally, the skies have cleared. It is blue and warm, and we're on the beach at an intercontinental that is spectacular. So let's take a step back and talk about actual budget, because that's why people are watching.
Yes.
So last month, if you didn't see our video, you can go back and see the details, but we spent $3,154 for an entire month of January in Vietnam. Well, a couple days at the end of the beginning of the month for leaving Bangkok. But we spent half the month in an apartment or hotels that we paid for versus half a month in points. And I detailed out how it was actually less expensive for us to end up in a hotel with points with a lounge than it was for us to stay in an apartment. That it helps that we're in Vietnam where food is very inexpensive, but truthfully, it can work if you can find the right deals.
Exactly.
So to summarize our lifestyle, we are trying to travel the world, and we have been for the last few years, on $4,000 a month. And we were not very good at that in our first year. We went to all of our bucket list places, high cost areas, and blew our numbers up. And it was very, very tough budget discussions at that point. So now we've lowered our budget. We are trying to be much more fixed on it across the entire trip. So how many months are we here in Asia?
I think we talk about trying to stay 7 months, but that can change at any point.
We'll see.
That's the beauty of slow travel. You can be flexible, cancel certain things, but anyway, let's keep with the budget.
Yes. So over the entire trip, where we're going to go through low season, off season, high season, we need to be, we're balancing across that. Not every month am I worried about, hitting a number. So, but we do try to stick to $4,000 a month. Now we have about $700 a month in kind of fixed costs between health insurance, life insurance, streaming, like Netflix, some other costs that we have back in the States. So that comes out of the budget. So really, we're trying to spend about $3,300 here at the beginning of the year. Now, some of those costs are going to be changing up, and I'll detail those out in another video when we get to the point where they change. But that's where we are today. So we have about $3,300 a month that we're trying to spend. So in a month like February, well, 28 days, we have a little extra money per day if we need it. But we're in a very low-cost area. We had a really good deal on our hotel up in Da Nang for most of the month, and we'll get into that in just a second. We did have a personal goal because this is Vietnam, and we did have some good value in there. We were trying to spend more like $100 a day, which works out pretty well on a 30-day month or 31-day month. That kind of gets us right up against our spending budget. 28 days gives us a couple $100 extra. So we really were trying to hit that $100 a day for $2,800. And let's see how we did. So where were we?
We were staying in the Crown Plaza Central in Da Nang. Yes. And I mean, it's a very nice hotel, very modern, and the food was delicious.
Yeah, well, the people were exceptional, and we miss our friends from there. Yes. Both the people who work there and the people we met in the lounge, which is one of those side benefits of being in the lounge, that we talk about in our Living La Vida Lounge video. But yes, we had a great time there. It was actually a transition to become an IHG hotel at the beginning of the year. So it was new. There was a good break on pricing. So we were able to get in this beautiful Crown Plaza level hotel with really good food for a very good price. So we were in the Crown Plaza for 24 nights. And then we did take a 2-night trip down to the town of Hoi An, which we will eventually get a travel video out about that. But that's a place where you go and get some clothes made, and it's a cute little older town where they preserved it. And we had a lot of fun for 2 days, stayed in a little boutique hotel, not quite the same level as the Crown Plaza.
Exactly.
And then the last 2 days of the month, we came down here for the start of our trip to Nha Trang. And as I said, the sun is out and we are happy. So out of the month, we have 26 nights in what I consider to be pretty darn upscale hotels with all the amenities, great foods, pools, lounges, spas, restaurants, the gym. So what did we actually spend in the month of February? So we had our housing for 2 nights we paid for. We're in that boutique hotel in Hoi An. It's a very nice hotel, but thankfully pretty inexpensive. So we got it for $40 a night, including breakfast. So $80 in cash that we spent. Then we had 26 nights between the 2 hotels, 24 of them up in Da Nang. And that cost us, because we paid for all of those with points. So those were all award stays. The 266,000 points. So 10,000 points a night, which has been our goal for this because we pay a half a penny a point. So 10,000 points is $50 in a cash rate. None of these hotels are $50 cash rate.
Exactly.
At least not in Intercontinentals and Crown Plazas. So that adds up to $1,330 that we spent in cash to buy those points, because we no longer have a bunch of free points, and I'm not going to get into any like little bonuses and stuff. Those are going into future stays. So total for accommodations we spent.
It was $1,410.
Yes. So half of our budget went to accommodation. But the trick is, of course, that accommodation includes food because we have lounge access. So full breakfasts, snacks in the lunchtime, drinks throughout the day.
And even though they have those, we have the privilege of or blessing to become friends with the chef and with all the guys that work in there. And we can ask for anything at that point. They will make anything for us.
Yes, and we tried not to abuse the privileges they accorded us, but it was
it was because they're very nice with us.
Yeah, and the hotel wasn't very busy in off season, so
Mm-hmm.
we got treated exceptionally well. But still, we were getting the hors d'oeuvres in the evenings and drinks and all that. So we don't have to go out to dinner and buy food. We don't have to go shopping and stock up a kitchen. So all that savings was pretty exceptional. So for food, since most of it was in lounge, how much did we actually end up spending outside of?
Yeah, going to a couple of times to burgers and pizza, I believe.
Indian.
And Indian food.
A really good
here
Indian
and
restaurant.
There. Yeah. We only spent $210 in a month.
Yeah. And actually, out of that, $73 was for those 2 nights in Hoi An where we had to eat out lunches and dinners. It was kind of funny to think about that. So then we had our transportation costs.
Yeah, like Peter was saying, we go a couple of times to Hanoi. No,
Hoi An.
Sorry, Hoi An. I get confused with those names. And the transportation for that, for the entire month, was $224.
Yeah, and actually 150 of that was the flights to Nha Trang. We could have taken a train for a lot less, but we decided that it was better to not spend a long day on a train and a short flight. It's literally less than an hour flight. So it was very nice to get here in the middle of the day. But that $224, covered all of our grabs, everything else we did. We went to some of the sites and stuff around town. So, we get around, but most of our time we walk everywhere. We walk over to the beach.
We like to walk. Yes, exactly.
So then we get into the big budget item, because that's why you go to Vietnam and spend this much time is clothing.
And that's why you
shopping.
Exactly. That's why you travel light, because you can use the money that you pay into the airlines to go in shopping. So for shopping or for clothing, for the entire month, we spent $231 to replace those that were damaged or
we actually
had new stuff.
Yeah, we needed some new things. You got a couple of really cute outfits that you will see in another video. But if you kind of check what's going to roll here in a second, you'll see a bunch of little red dots all over these clothes. We accidentally left a chapstick in our pocket and destroyed an entire load of clothes. So thankfully it was mostly workout gear, but a couple of nice shirts did get damaged. So we had to go and replace all those things. And yet we still spent $224. And trust me, the half of that was on some much nicer clothes that we bought. So it's incredibly nice to be able to get things here pretty inexpensively.
Yeah. The next one is one of my favorites.
Mine too.
Which is the personal care, which is nails, hair salon, massages. And for that, we spend
$104 in an entire month. Now, in the States, that was one massage, maybe 90 minutes, usually maybe just an hour by the time you include the tip.
Yeah.
Here, that got you a massage, us a foot massage, us a couples massage, 90-minute couples massage, plus you got a hair cut and color. I got my hair cut, which was $4.
Yeah.
So yeah, personal care here is heaven. You can get a massage every week, every few days. It's really not bad at all. When I added it up, I was stunned. It was $104.
Exactly.
So the next thing we had was our cell phone. Because we had already been in Vietnam, we just had to renew our plans. Mine was a whole $6 for the month of 5G coverage. Elena had a couple of refills on her data plan for her eSIM. And so that was, whatever the difference was, $13. So yeah, so $19 total for an entire month of cell phone coverage. Then we have our medical. Now, thankfully, we did not have any medical episodes this month, probably from all that self-care. So that's vitamins, pain meds, a few other things we needed to do. Plus, I had to get new glasses after I dropped my sunglasses and scratched the lenses. So went into an optometrist or an optical shop and had them make new lenses for me. They just made them exactly to shape. The total we spent for all of that was $119.
$119.
And she likes taking those vitamins and supplements. I hate swallowing those pills, so I don't take much. But my replacement lenses were $12.
Yes.
Now they're not prescription, but even the prescription I think was going to be like $60. It's, again, things you can do in places like Vietnam to take care of yourself. It's amazing. Thailand was similar, though we were in Bangkok, so it was a little more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one we had was our miscellaneous, which is, I can't even remember the coffees or smoothies we had out, but there were a couple of them.
Yeah.
But mostly it was laundry. It was sending our laundry out to be washed, as long as we don't throw the chapstick in there.
Because that's the only thing we don't have
in the hotel room.
In the hotel room, yeah, that's the only service that we don't get.
Yeah, and these are still nice businessy hotels, so they charge a lot to do your laundry. So we just take them over to a regular laundromat, wash, fold, sometimes iron our clothes. It's literally $3, $5, $7 for a load of laundry, depending on how big it is, and it's all by the per kilogram by weight. So we spent $100 across all the miscellaneous. That's drinks, laundry, and the big thing was we did have quite a bit of tipping that we needed to do as we left our friends in Da Nang. They were exceptional.
They deserve it.
Oh yeah, it was actually, it was really nice to be able to do things for them. So we still miss you guys. Anyway, so now we get to the grand total for all 28 days.
Yeah. We are so happy to share with you that this month we only spent $2,417 for the 28 days that we were living in a hotel.
Yes, very nice. Almost all of them very, very, very nice hotels. So yeah, well under $100 per day target. Actually came in at $86 per day. Now that doesn't include that monthly recurring cost that we've got. So out of our $3,300 that we had left over in our budget for the month, we spent $2,400. So that left us $883 to put into savings, because we know that there's going to be emergencies, or we're going to have some spending up in places like Japan, because we're going to be jumping around on the Shinkansen high-speed rail, which we're really excited for, and going to some of these temples and everything else and shrines that we want to see, because we're there for cherry blossoms. So we're going to be spending a lot more money there. We are still doing the lounge hotels for almost all of our stays up there. So I'm really excited to see what that turns out to be. It's harder to find those hotels. It required us bouncing around a little bit more than I usually would like. So transportation is going to go up. Housing's about a little higher. Food should stay low. So yeah, we'll see.
Having the lounge access is a huge benefit.
Yeah, but as we said at the beginning, that's why we're staying in Vietnam for these first 2, almost 3 months, is we really, are having an exceptional experience, really nice places to stay, great food, wonderful people, and under budget. So yes, there are people out there who can stay for less. You could stay for a lot less. This is the life we are choosing to live right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to argue. I mean, even if you just come and pamper yourself for a while, it's not a bad way to live.
No, thank God it's not. And if we can do it, like I keep saying, if we can do it, you can do it if you want.
Yeah. And as I've said in the other videos about points, it actually works on vacations as well. So if you want to watch that video and kind of learn those tricks, great. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Happy travels.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.